We kicked off Sir Doug Nicholls' round in style in Darwin between Gold Coast and Hawthorn. It was the Suns that prevailed once again up in the top end. An incredible record that they have there. You know, begs the question, do they need to play there more often? But you were pretty intrigued about what happened in the ruck battle there, particularly with Josh Weddle and Ned Reeves.
Yeah, I was. So they took both teams took their sort of second ruck. So Ned Reeves got his first game of the year. Gold Coast brought in Ned Moyle, but that was to ruck alongside Jared Witts. So some of the numbers. So hit-outs when Weddle was in the ruck. So Weddle had to play that second ruck role because Gunston was out. So Chol had to stay in the forward line. So 2 hit-outs to 13 in that time when Weddle was in the ruck, 4 clearances to 11. Then you look at when Reeves was in the ruck, relatively similar statistics. Obviously, clearances still in Gold Coast favour. We know how good they are as a clearance team. So let's have a look at some of the footage here, though, of the exact examples of when Weddle was in the ruck against Witts. All of these are fourth quarter when the game's on the line. Just his ability, Witts, to move Weddle wherever he wants. And this is what happens when you have a ruck that is simply not a ruck and has to come in against a man that has played the entire fourth quarter. This ball goes inside forward 50. Now Ned Reeves comes into the ruck, gets this beautiful tap out to Josh Ward at the next centre bounce clearance. They go inside 50 and score a goal. So I think that's just to highlight the importance of, yes, at times you're going to have a second ruck that goes in there. We see Paddy Cripps do it for Carlton. We've seen Weddle do it multiple times. But Weddle is a key pillar to their game plan. He can play across all 3 lines, but I don't include the ruck in those all 3 lines. I think you want him around the ball, you want him forward, you want him back. Utilise him in that way, so they need to come up with another solution in there as their second ruck if they only want to go with that one ruck in the game, because Weddle, at an important time, couldn't step up. Not that I expect him to either, but that was a real game changer in the fourth quarter.
James Sicily probably had a night to forget off the half-back line, but you very cruelly picked out a couple of examples he'd really like to forget.
Well, it was Sicily the stepladder, wasn't it? Jed Walter got a nice ride on him early, and then the only thing worse than someone taking a hanger on you is then later in the game someone else taking a hanger on you, and this was Ben Long, and he didn't get as good a ride, so I'm giving that probably less points on the sort of hanger scale. But interestingly, Damien Hardwick gave his opinion on this, and he gave the points to Ben Long.
Okay.
I think Jed Walter's grab was more of that traditional hanger. I'd give him the votes in this. What's your take, Xander?
Well, I think Ben Long was a bit destabilised there. I thought he did well to actually keep himself
but
upright.
The photo looks better. The photo looks better. He gets more of a sit, Jed Walter.
And it'll live on for that very reason, Wayne. John Noble, he had a great game. He was probably the best game that he's had at the Suns. You could say he was best on ground. 1,000 metres gained, just like Bailey Dale, but he's really come along in this new role at the Suns.
Yeah, he has. And sort of looking at the game, you could go with Anderson, Rowell in the fourth quarter, especially Collins, and sort of looking at who you thought was the best on ground. But for me, it's been John Noble and Daniel Rioli. Their injection into this team and the way that Damien Hardwick has used them has been the real change this season to the Gold Coast Suns and the way that they move the ball and their game plan. So, as I said, the 13th player to get 1,000 metres gained. Obviously, Bailey Dale this evening was the 14th, but 36 disposals and just a genuine point of difference in the Gold Coast Suns team are Noble and Rioli now.